right, we are back on Morning Line. Thanks for joining us on this Monday. Allison Fields is the veterinarian with us. It says "Ask the Vet" on the screen. You see where it says that? We're looking at a monitor in the studio
it does say
and there's
that.
a phone number there where you're allowed to call in. Allison, unlike some of her clients, does not bite. She will answer some of the questions for you.
Most of my clients don't bite. It's the patients that
Well,
bite.
I meant the patient client. I don't talk about the owners.
I just want people to think that, you know, people are coming in biting.
No, people bite you.
Okay. Just check.
I love your bite stories.
Yeah, thanks. I love your bite stories, Allison. They're so funny when you get mauled.
No, you've never really been mauled, have you? You've been chomped. It's a hazard of the job.
Yes.
The owners are required to let you know ahead, but if we have time later today, I'll have you recount some of that for us. All right, let's go to some lines. We got lines open, so jump in if you want, but let's start off with Bruce. Hi, Bruce.
Hey, Nick. How are you, buddy?
Good. Good morning to you, bud. What's on your mind?
Well, I just want to tell you that you're still high in my tree, so.
Right on. Thank you.
But my question to the vet, we had a batch down that we lost a couple months ago, soon be 2 months.
I'm sorry.
And he was feeling real good one Monday morning, and then about 10 o'clock that morning, he just started moping around, and we took him to the vet that afternoon, and his temperature was good, his gums was pretty and pink, but the vet seemed to give him a shot for infection, and he seemed to think that, you know, he might have come down with some type of disease. Well, it was, and we lost him the next morning.
I'm so sorry.
But he seemed to think that it was a tumor around his spleen.
Did they do some x-rays?
No, they didn't do that.
Sometimes you can actually feel those on palpation. I've diagnosed those just by feeling them. So.
Well, he said our dog was 10 years and 2 months old, and he said sometimes those basset hounds at that age, they'll come down with that type of cancer, you know. But it was a shock, and we're still not over him. When we lost a beagle hound 2 months prior, we had to have him put down. He was 14 years old. We was blessed to have him. But it's absolutely tore us up. We don't have no kids. So.
Oh, that's tough.
Well, I'm so sorry for your loss. I know that's hard.
Losing 2 dogs like that in such a short. I'm so sorry, Bruce. Do you think after a period of time you might consider getting another dog?
Well, we thought we would wait maybe about a year and see what we want to do. You know, I've never hurt like this in my life. I'm 65 years old, and it's tough, Nick. You know, it's tough, man.
It's really
People don't understand that. They don't have dogs and love them, you know.
Yeah, no, I totally understand what you're saying. It's hard, and you know, it's interesting. A story. One of my old hosts, Bruce, years ago, a guy named Larry Britton. A lot of people will remember him, a very famous and you know, great investigative reporter. And he had a dog for years, and when the dog passed away, it tore him up so much he swore he would never get another dog. But after a period of time, he went back, and now Larry's retired, and he's doing well. He has his health issues. He's had another dog for, I think, probably a good 7, 8 years, and he was so glad he went back because he knows it hurts when you lose it, but when you have the other one, they bring so much to your life. He went back to it, and so it's kind of like, yeah, I know it hurts, but don't forget all the wonderful things they bring to you, and you could give a wonderful home to another animal. You know?
Right.
So I'm so sorry to hear that for you, my friend. I've been through that too, and it's tough. And 2 dogs in that short period that you've had for that long.
That's hard.
Yeah. Well, listen, Bruce, hang in there. There's certainly nothing more tumors like that or whatever. I mean, when they get older like that.
Well, things can happen. All kinds of different stuff.
Yeah. Now, at least he had them as long as he did, and I wish him well. Bruce, listen, take care of yourself, and hang in there. When you have no kids, it's just the 2 of you. You're used to those dogs?
I know.
Yeah, when you... Of course, but through that, I know your pets. All right, well, hang in there, Bruce, and I do hope you get another dog down the way, or 2. Let's go to Neil. Neil, good morning. Oh, wait, let's see. Hang on. There's Neil. Go ahead, Neil.
Hey, good morning. How you doing?
Good, Neil. What can we do for you?
Yes, I have a miniature Doberman named Sasha, and she's like, her hair's coming out, and she's itching a lot.
Have you been to see the vet?
Well, I was going to take her Friday.
Okay, so there's a lot of things that can be. And honestly, without seeing her, it's really hard to diagnose. It could be something as easy as fleas.
I do be seeing fleas crawling on her a lot.
Okay, well then that probably is the problem. You need to get her in to see your vet. Let them get you some good flea control and some medication to help with the skin.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, well, I'm gonna take her Friday.
Okay, sounds like a plan. I hope she gets better.
Take her in.
She's to the point where I could call her and she'll go hide up under the bed and stuff. She don't normally do that.
Oh, why is that? Just she's not feeling well?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay.
She don't normally do that. She'll hide and
Yeah, Neil, listen, you're doing the right thing. You've got to take her to the vet on Friday. And
get her into the vet.
Take her in, and it sounds hopefully like they'll be able to fix it. And it can be a combination. If you're losing hair, would that mean the fleas are a problem you want to get rid of anyway? But some animals are allergic to the flea bites more than others.
Yeah, but they can also lose hair just from chasing fleas and scratching.
Just by scratching and all of that. Okay. And just talk a little bit, if you will, about the types of flea control that they may recommend for someone like that.
There's lots of great flea controls out there. The ones that most veterinarians are really liking right now are the oral ones. There's NexGard, which is oral. You give it once a month. There's Bravecto, that's once every 3 months. There's Simparica, that's once a month. All of those do fleas and ticks. There may be other ones out there that I'm just not familiar with, but they work really well. You don't have to worry about bathing, swimming, things like that.
Yeah,
you don't have to worry about the greasy, oily spot if you have small children in the house. Lots of good things.
Listen, they work great.
They really do.
Just when you go in, Neil, I mean, because they're so good and you only give it to them once a month, you're going to say, wait, how much is that? I mean, it may catch you a little off guard. It's a little more expensive than some things that but they work. It's worth it.
It's amazing
and
how well
don't go a cheap route on it. Get the good stuff. It will work, and it's you're getting something that you're not going to have to worry about. It's not really doing the job.
For 30 days.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So take advantage of that. Let's go to a caller on line 2. Hi, caller. Are you there, ma'am?
Hello?
Hey, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm calling about my dog. Her name is Missy, and she's 11 years old.
Okay.
And she's beginning to have some issues with her skin.
How old is she?
11.
Oh, she's 11. I'm sorry. Okay. And skin, what kind of issues?
Well, she's always had a tendency for dry skin. The vet's never said anything about it, being anything serious. But I noticed when I took her to the groomer last week that right on her hind part of her leg up there at the very top, it was brown looking. And so I'm wondering if that is just dry skin or what. And then what can I get for that or do for that?
Well, that's a great question. It's really hard to say what it might be without seeing it. So I would suggest that maybe you take her into your vet, let them take a look at it up close, see what it is. It could be, some kind of growth. It could be dry skin. It could be a yeast infection. It could be hyperpigmentation. There's a lot of things it could be, and the only really way to know would be to get her in to see your vet and see what they say.
Do some people bathe their dogs too much? Could you do that where it gets to the point where you're drying their skin out because you wash them every... I'm not saying she's doing that, but other people maybe...
There are some dogs that have skin issues that need like a medicated bath. Once a week. My dog at one point was getting a bath twice a week because she had a skin issue that needed to be addressed twice a week. But in general, if you have a healthy dog with healthy skin and that doesn't have a problem, I recommend not bathing with shampoo any more frequently than once every 2 to 4 weeks. Because if they're perfectly fine and they don't have any issues, every time we bathe them with the shampoo, we're stripping their natural oils that give them a protection barrier to things. So we can dry out their skin. And we can cause more problems by bathing too frequently. So, once every 2 to 4 weeks, if you really feel that your dog needs to get a bath, is probably appropriate. Puppies are a different story. Puppies go out and they get dirty and muddy. They're like little boys. And so with my dog, when she was little, we got her in the wintertime. And so it was muddy, the yard's gross in the winter. And so she would come in with muddy feet every time we put her out. We just popped her in the kitchen sink and hosed her off just with water, no shampoo, and that does fine. You know, you can get them wet and rinse them off if they're just dirty, and then do your shampoo bath, you know, every couple of weeks or so.
And you have to use pet shampoo.
We recommend that you use pet shampoo. It's not, human shampoo is a little bit more drying and is meant to get oils out. We don't necessarily want to do that with dogs, so they do make some great dog shampoos over the counter. You know, if you're just looking for a basic shampoo because your dog gets dirty every once in a while, an aloe and oatmeal shampoo. It's very soothing. It's not gonna, you know, do too much damage.
Tell you what, you know, we give our dogs showers sometimes, you know,
Sure
indoors,
you do.
and I've used their shampoo. Now we don't use human shampoo on our dogs, but I've used that oatmeal and aloe
And
shampoo.
how did that work out?
Go ahead, smell it.
No, I'll just, yeah, it's very soft.
Got rid of the fleas.
I'm sure Deb's pleased about that. Aloe and oatmeal
No,
shampoo
it's in
doesn't
there.
get rid of fleas.
Okay. Well, we have the shampoos right in the shower there, and I just grabbed one in the morning. It's bleary-eyed, and it was oatmeal and aloe.
Nice and fresh.
It was a nice lather.
Yeah.
It was just fine. It was just fine. Now, I won't go the other way and let the dogs use mine, but all right, we'll take a break. The line's still open. If you're on hold, stay there. Kevin, John, Jewel, and others will get to you if you want to join us. 737-7587. We're having a good conversation this morning with Allison Fields. We'll try to answer your questions right after this.
This is a story.